search for the next Patriots head coach continues, but this time it got a little bit more interesting because Mike Vrabel has officially completed his interview for the New England Patriots. It took place earlier this afternoon, was finished around 5 p.m. Eastern time, but there is one thing specific to note here, is that Mike Reese let us know that the interview took place in Boston. While there is no specific reasoning for this, it is definitely something to keep in mind just because Vrabel obviously being an alumni of the franchise, maybe they wanted to make this more of a personal experience for Mike Vrabel, who is interviewing for numerous head coaching positions at this current moment. And Mike Reese also followed up saying that one possibility on the Boston piece here is that owner Robert Kraft lives in Chestnut Hill, and perhaps having Mike Vrabel at his home as part of the interview adds more of that personal touch to it. So now that Vrabel has officially interviewed, I just want to hop on here and really break down the latest on the Patriots head coaching tracker, who's interviewing, who's not interviewing, and how the Mike Vrabel interview actually went, because let's be honest, all signs are pointing towards hiring Mike Vrabel. He's shown interest in coaching for New England. New England has shown interest in wanting Mike Vrabel. And I feel like the reasoning why they're really expediting this process right now is because Vrabel is expediting the process. He's already interviewed with 2 other organizations, including the Chicago Bears, which was yesterday, and the New York Jets, which was on Friday. And he is scheduled or has shown interest to interview with other teams in the NFL. So, with that being said, Robert Kraft has already fulfilled the Rooney Rule, although there was some backlash from front office organizers and front office employees saying, look, it seemed like a sham, the way that he took care of the Rooney Rule. Interviewing Pep Hamilton and Byron Leftwich, and then now noting that Aaron Glenn, they did want to interview Aaron Glenn, the defensive coordinator for the Detroit Lions. He has now declined the opportunity to interview with New England. That is definitely something to monitor because he is going to continue to interview with other teams in the NFL, but Aaron Glenn did not want to interview with New England. There could be several reasonings why for this, mainly probably because he doesn't think that job is going to be his, because all signs have pointed towards hiring Mike Vrabel. So if you guys want Mike Vrabel to be the next head coach of the New England Patriots, go on ahead and let me know in the comment section down below just by putting an MV in the comment section, obviously standing for Mike Vrabel. And I'm at fault here too, because now that we have Ben Johnson on the table to be a possible serious candidate for New England and be the next head coach for New England, as he's shown interest in wanting to coach for a guy like Drake May, I do think and I really hope that Robert Kraft is taking this seriously. And I know that he is, and it's kind of a hard situation to put into words, but I don't want him to take this Mike Vrabel interview and automatically think, we're good, we found our guy. While that'd be great, I do hope that tomorrow morning they are scheduled to have a virtual interview with Ben Johnson. I hope that they do keep an open mind while talking to Johnson as well and see where his head's at about possibly leaving Detroit and coming to be a head coach. And he would be another first-time head coach, whereas Vrabel would have a little bit of connection and would have that experience that comes with the position. But I also want to point out that if they do decide to go with Mike Vrabel, he would be a very good candidate for New England, obviously having that alumni tie, but also having success with a subpar quarterback in Tennessee when he coached for the last couple of years. Now, Drake May being an above-average quarterback, I do think Mike Vrabel would be a really good fit for this program. Just to go back a couple of years, between the years of 2019 and 2021, you got to think about what Vrabel was dealing with here. He had Ryan Tannehill as his quarterback, and he also had Derrick Henry as his running back, so that probably took care of most of their wins. I don't know how many wins Ryan Tannehill could have solely got by himself. But from 19 to 2021, what he was able to do with a guy like Tannehill, they reached the AFC Championship game in 2019. They won the AFC South in 2020. And then in 2021, they were the number 1 seed in the AFC. If Vrabel is able to cook up any type of offensive production with a guy like Ryan Tannehill and still produce championship, positive, winning results, then I am all for it. And I do believe that Vrabel, who has had enough experience in the NFL, is going to be able to network his way to find the right OC to pair along with Drake May. Not to mention, when he was the head coach for Tennessee, they went from 27th in points per game to 10th to 4th. In the 3-year span that he spent with Tennessee, they went from 24th to 10th to 4th. He not only worked on both sides of the ball because he does have experience playing both sides of the ball, mainly more the tight end position when Belichick and Vrabel did work together as player and coach. But he's got experience on both sides of the ball in Tennessee and in Cleveland, and he literally has played both of them. So I know that like I said, I have been at fault here too, saying you're going to get a defensive-minded coach. But he is one of the rare guys that will know exactly what both sides of the ball need. You do currently still have DeMarcus Covington as your defensive coordinator, and he may end up bringing in Josh McDaniels as the offensive coordinator. That has actually been spoken into existence. Sources are saying that his top choice right now is Josh McDaniels to come in as the offensive coordinator. Excuse my cat Beans. She does what she wants here at this home. But all the sources are still leaning back to Vrabel being the head coach for the Patriots. Phil Perry with NBC Sports Boston says that he's their top choice right now for a reason. And there's a real chance he'll be fielding all the Patriots questions he can handle in a few days' time. Obviously, yesterday the report came out. They want to make a head coaching decision by this weekend. So we could have a new head coach not even a week later after parting ways with first-year head coach Jerod Mayo. I'll wrap up my thoughts here and give you guys a little bit more detail as to what happened today as Vrabel completed his interview and what we should look forward to tomorrow with Ben Johnson. But before I do that, I do want to go ahead and make sure you guys know about GameTime, our sponsor here on today's show. GameTime is the only app that I use when I'm trying to get tickets to any comedy event, theater, maybe even a sporting event. So if you guys want to go see the Boston Celtics play live at TD Garden, you want to go see the New England Patriots in Foxborough this next upcoming season with a new head coach, maybe even the Boston Bruins, or heck, if you're a Red Sox fan, I'm a Yankees fan, so I'm not going to go see the Red Sox play, but I do love Fenway Park. If you guys are looking to get a gift for any anniversary, take yourself out, go out with your friends, download GameTime. You're going to get 100%. You are going to get the lowest price guaranteed. You're also going to have all-in pricing, so you know you're going to pay that amount 100% at checkout, no surprise fees whatsoever. And one of my favorite features here on GameTime is that all you have to do is pick your seat, know where you guys want to go, and then you guys are going to be able to have this view and figure out where you want to sit and if that seat is good for you. So if you guys want to go on ahead and get started with GameTime, all you guys have to do is download the GameTime app. Use promo code CHATSPORTS for $20 off your first time buying tickets while terms apply. Again, download the GameTime app. Use promo code CHATSPORTS for $20 off. Download GameTime today because what time is it? It is game time. Ben Johnson is clearly still going to interview with New England tomorrow morning. He has to do it virtually because Detroit is still currently in the playoffs. So I am very intrigued to see what reports are going to come out as to how the Ben Johnson interview went. But now knowing that there has been a recent report since the Raiders did currently fire their GM, their first-year GM, the Raiders are trying to figure out so much at once. Now that they have an opening for a head coach and an opening for a GM, Mike Vrabel may be interested in possibly taking an interview with Las Vegas because he has mentioned that he would like to possibly bring in a GM of his own. Why? Well, because he and the Tennessee Titans GM that recently got fired didn't really see eye to eye. So Vrabel wants to make sure that he and the GM are going to be on the same page. And while Elliot Wolf's job is currently secure, we don't know if that's still the case if Mike Vrabel does end up taking this job and moving in. He may want to bring in his own GM and just completely start over with that front office. So we do have to keep an eye open for the Jets, who he has already interviewed with, the Chicago Bears, who he's interviewed with, and now he may possibly want to see what the Raiders have to say, which is why, another reason why, I think you should really hear Ben Johnson out. Take this candidate seriously. I am on the Ben Johnson train. I think if he is 110% willing to leave Detroit and come to New England, I think you need to go with Ben Johnson. But I also understand that Robert Kraft, who's pretty much expediting the Mike Vrabel train, and he also just fired an alumni, a defensive-minded alumni, then to go and rehire another defensive-minded alumni, I think that is the biggest punch in the face you can give to Jerod Mayo. I think it'd be a very tough move. I think it is still a move you need to consider because Mike Vrabel is a very different head coach than Jerod Mayo was, just based on the fact that he actually has NFL experience. a lot more than Gerard Mayo did. So it will be a different circumstance, and Mike Vrabel played both sides of the ball. Gerard Mayo was just a linebacker. So there is a lot to unpack in the next couple of days, and knowing that the Patriots do want to make a head coaching decision by this weekend or ahead of next week, that's why you guys need to subscribe to Patriots Today by Chat Sports. I work from home. You guys meet my cats. I work from inside the Chat Sports studios as well to get you guys the latest information on what's going on in New England. So that's why you guys go on ahead and hit that sub button for me.